Medieval Life, 12.2, by Paige Allie Alyssa and Lizzie. Feudalism, or a highly decentralized government stressing alliances of mutual protection between monarchs and nobles of different levels. This distributes land and peasants to work it among the nobility of Europe. Feudal relationships. After contact with Muslim cavalry, Charles Martel looks to create a similar force, but it is very expensive. To support this cavalry, Charles Martel begins to grant fiefs or estates with peasants to his knights. This system is later enlarged, and fiefs are granted to counts and local officials who assume local government duties and provides knights or mounted soldiers to the king. Fiefs become hereditary or pass from father to son. Feudalism is like a pyramid with the king up top, each lord is a vassal, knights are at the bottom, and this would be the hierarchy. Feudal obligations. The ceremony that officially linked lord and vassal was called homage. Vassals were required to fulfill several obligations, including a number of nights for 40 to 60 days a year, court service, lodging in the lord visited, and money for sons/daughters/ransoms. The most important obligation was military service. Castles for defense. Due to increased frequency of conflicts, nobles relied on castles or fortified manor houses for defense. Castles consisted of keeps, the square tower with important rooms like dungeons and halls, and baileys, which had workshops in the chapel. Life of nobility. Nobility, lords, ladies, and knights. Lords had almost total control with his fiefs, was in charge of collecting rent/goods, settling fights, and protecting his land from outside threats. Ladies had minimal rights, were often forced to marry as early as age 12. Her duties included caring for her family, making meds, and sometimes supervising the land if the lord was away. Entertainment. Tournaments or mock battles between knights showcased the knight's abilities. Hunting was also enjoyed, and men and women learned archery and falconry. Feasts often provided food, music, and socialization. Becoming a knight. So this would be the knight, and this would be the knight talking. So when I was 7, I became training in knighthood. I became a squire after assisting a knight. I proved in battle, squire knighted me in an elaborate ceremony. I have to promote bravery, fairness, courtesy, loyal, and to defend the church. I was 15 years old when squire assistant practiced with some weapons. Code of knights was to be brave in battle. I practiced chivalry, which was the development of good manners. Manorial system. Wealth of feudal lords comes from work of peasants who live on and work the lord's land. In the Middle Ages, economics centered around a system called manorialism. Peasants and lords benefit from the manorial system because they each get food, shelter, and protection. Manor consisted of lord's house, pastor's fields, forest, and peasant's village. Feudalism is political, manorialism equals economic. Work on a manor. Peasants exchange duties for protection. A peasant's duties might include goods or labor. Manors were self-sufficient, leading to a variety of local occupations, such as farming, herding, and blacksmith or carpenter. Shoemaker, miller, vintner, brewer, woman of 10 made candles, sheared sheep, spun wool, or sewed. Peasants rarely left, most ever serfs or people tried to the land, but not slaves. Increasing production. Though self-sufficient, some improvements do increase productivity, improved plow, the 3-field system, and crop rotation as well. Peasant life. Poverty and hardship were common. Life expectancy was around age 40. Disease and famine were constant. Warfare also destroyed crops, burned villages, and led to more strain on the peasants from the lord. Peasants were able to relax on Sundays and holy days and enjoyed music, singing, dancing, archery, and wrestling. Serfs lived in tiny one-roomed houses with little furniture. Though society was not balanced, many people believed in God's eyes. And that would be the end of our 12.2 slideshow.